Okay, so this is the Neato Botvac Connected. I got this last year, 2017, in May. So I've had it for about almost 10 months and really have not had any issues with it, except for recently the brush is not spinning. So I have tried to find a resolution, and I really have not been able to find one yet. So I'm going to make a video, and we're just going to kind of go through and trial and error, try and find some things that are going to work. So I have my WD-40. I think it's the bearing that's getting stuck, but on this model, I'm not sure how the bearing rotates. So I've seen other models, but they do not have the same brush setup exactly. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of do some trial and error. So currently this is on right now. We're going to want to turn it off first. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up and put this off to the side and flip the switch, and we'll turn it off just so it's not going to beep at us. It's not going to do any movement while we're working underneath it. So we're going to go ahead and flip it over and take off the little brush first, and then you'll want to pop off the plastic. Take that off first and put that off to the side. So here is our brush setup. Now what's being locked up is this right here. So it's not moving. What's moving right now is the black. See how the orange is not moving at all. So the black part's releasing itself from the orange part. Now this is the bearing that's supposed to rotate, and it's not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some WD-40 in there, spray it around, and just see if anything starts to loosen up. If not, I've got my key set here, so I'll find one small enough to try and pop it through, see if we can get it moving. So I went through in here as well while I was under here, and I cleaned out everything. It tends to get pretty caked up in here, so make sure that you take some sort of a wipey that's got like an abrasive side to it and wipe all of this out. I have cleaned absolutely everything. I've gone through, I've cleaned my brush. I haven't replaced my brush yet. I just go through, open it, I take my comb, I've gone through the brushes, each individual brushes, and have just pulled out. I have 3 dogs, so I tend to have a lot of hair. I get little balls of hair. Lint is a big thing. So I just go through, I took the little brush, brushed it all out. These things tend to get pretty gunked up and black also. Sorry, make it so you'll be able to see a little better. These tend to go black, so I'll wipe all of this off too. As you can tell, these do slide out. I just go through and just wipe them through. I don't have a reason to slide them out right now. So I go through each of these pieces. These tend to get gunked up too. The little dividers here, in here especially, gets really gunked up. So just make sure that you clean this out really good while you're already in here. May as well. Okay, so I'm gonna put this off to the side, and we're gonna work on our bearing. I'm going to move this out a little bit, and I'm just going to try and I have my towel out so I don't make too much of a mess. And I'm just going to kind of spray this in here and just see if I can get something to loosen up in here. I'm just going to kind of let it sit, not too much in here, but I'm just going to kind of let it sit in there. And then I'm going to do the same to the inside in here. Very lightly, because otherwise it'll spray back at you. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it together. I really don't know what's locking it up. This is the only thing I can think of without having to buy a whole new brush setup yet. I don't feel like I'm ready for one yet, but I may just need to buy a whole new brush setup and go from there. So we'll see. I'll just kind of spray everything in there and just let it sit. play with it a little bit. Kind of frustrating because I'm trying to find videos on this and I can find it what everyone else's model is, but I can't find anything on this one. So I'm just gonna kind of let stuff sit for a second. For how gunked up this thing gets, it wouldn't surprise me that these lock up, but I really wish that Neato would have addressed this. And more people had YouTube videos, so we're gonna make one. Now this black piece comes off. I'm gonna take off the black piece for a second. I don't know, I'm working on it. I'm just going to wipe it off because it's quite a bit slippery. Okay, so now after I played with this a little bit, I got it separated. So what I did was I just had taken the edge of the towel and put it up against where this lip is that comes out, and I started twisting it downwards and it was able to separate. So I'm hoping you can see the bearing came out. You can see right through it. There's the other piece, and it is quite gunked up with stuff. So I'm just gonna wipe this out a little bit and see if we can get it freed up. So what I did was I also sprayed WD-40 along the rim of it and let it sit there too, kind of get that loosened up so it would be easier, so I wouldn't really strip out too badly the post that goes back into the brush. So I'm just going to wipe this down, see how yummy all of this is coming out. Make sure all the debris is off of it, and I'm just going to add a little bit of the WD-40 on here. This is just back onto the bearing post in the center. Not too much on there, but keep a little bit on there and put it back in. Put this in here. So now we're freed up. So now I'm going to put it back together. I'm hoping this stays. So that's what we have our black plate for. I'm going to wipe this down because I still have WD-40 on it, and fit this back together. Now this, I'm already noticing this is already really loose. So I just kind of pushed it back through so the bearing is sitting flush. I just kind of dabbed it. Still got some black on it. So I just dabbed it, and I'm gonna put this back in place so it's gonna hold it. So now this is going to hold the bearing back in place. So now we have a movable bearing. All right, so now I'm just going to put this back together and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so now we're going to test it. I have turned it back on, as you can see. Made sure everything is back working on it. So we've got our Wi-Fi signal working, full battery. If you have 2 or less, it is not going to work. You need to charge it first, then it can start going again. So let's go ahead and see if this works. Fingers crossed. Oh, we got spinning. And there she goes. See if she can figure herself out here. watch her a little bit and make sure that she's acting normal. Pour it out of the way here. Everything seems to be sounding good. Alright, I think we got it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and I'll get to them. I know that there aren't really too many videos out there, so if you guys have any suggestions on any other videos that you need or any troubleshooting help, please comment below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Hope you guys have a great day and I hope this was helpful. Bye guys.